And Hulkingston Rovers will get this game underway. They will attack from left to right as we watch with the dark blue and orange strip, and Wigan, of course, in their traditional cherry and white. 5 games to go till the end of the season. Wigan play the majority of them at home. Craig Hall gets us underway with a high hanging kickoff. Matty Smith is underneath it, and there is the first run from Scott Taylor, and it's a welcome committee from his former teammates.
Yeah, pretty good defence as well, and that's going to be important. The fact that they know that they can't afford to allow Wigan any space to produce their magic.
The 2 good tackles, though, coming in there, start of the match from Rovers. They're penning Wigan back inside their own 10 and driving them back a couple of metres if they possibly can as well. Wigan looking to get this ball away, and a good offload from Sean O'Loughlin finds Anthony Gelling. A little bit of inspiration from the skipper there.
Yeah, it's good defence as well. The second rower, Jordan Cox, he went down, and they're really up for this. You just feel it, don't you? Wigan expected it, though. It was an easy game last week. 70 points. They show what they can do with ball in hand, Eddie, but it's their defence that's got to be strong as well, because I think the Rovers tonight will really throw everything at them.
Greg Eden fielding the kick downfield. Will take the tackle, will play the ball to Travis Burns. And here now is Sean Gleeson. He began his career at Wigan 2005-2006. He only played 6 times for the Cherry and Whites. That's a good run from Josh Hodgson. Gets Rovers to halfway.
That's where the quality comes from, Hodgson as well. And he even got the ball away.
He did. The referee didn't call held, so it was able to be funneled away by Constantine Mika, who's in there again at dummy half. Here is Dobson. And
great tackle.
It was a great tackle, and it wasn't the best pass because it was right in the face of Liam Salter.
He didn't miss him, though, did he, Daryl Goulding?
This is Mickey Paya.
Yeah, he's in there again. Now then, this is going to be interesting. Will they test young Ryan Hampshire? Yes, is the answer to that.
Oh, this is hanging everywhere, this. But he takes it cleanly. Joe Burgess.
It's a great first touch in Super League. Be delighted when he caught the ball. He's had some contact. That certainly helps the nerves for any young man. And I watched him in the warm-up before the game. The Wigan half-backs kicking to all of the wingers and outside backs. He looked fantastic at catching the ball with his arms stretched above him high in the air. And again, looks about as tall as Pat Richards.
And I think I heard Terry O'Connor saying in the warm-up programme on the red button before we came on air that he hadn't slept since Wednesday. Here goes Josh Charnley. He's got Matty Smith in support. He's inside Craig Hall. Matty Smith, though, just beaten by sheer weight of numbers in the end. It was a good chase back, and it had to be as well. Charnley, who started the trouble, will have a little run at the line again, and down he goes. Greg Eden coming in with a tackle low from Josh Hodgson, and he has a penalty.
Given a penalty away. Silly play.
Well, Sean Gleeson just sat on him. There was no chance for him to get up and play the ball.
Well, what a great turnaround by Jordan Cox. I mean, the breakdown that right-hand side, looked at all the world are going to get it when Charlie got the ball back on the inside of Matty Smith. But Jordan Cox came from nowhere.
Nicky McAlorum at dummy half gives the ball to Green. Green then to Smith. On the run is Hansen, and he's lost the ball. So that's the first tick in the box for Hulkingston Rovers. The first real threat on their line, and they dealt with it.
Yeah, I got it, mate. I got it. Yeah, they had to get back in numbers, and Hansen just could not keep control of that. But this is a run from Smith. Second row, well done. Certainly saved a try there, that is for sure.
Mistake, though, from that man Harrison Hansen. He's missed the first 11 of 2013, but his 15th appearance out of the last 16 since coming back into the side after injury. 4 minutes gone, 0-0. Threat on the Hulkingston Rovers line. The threat was repelled, and now they're looking to work the ball upfield with Mickey Paya here. Well, wants to get to his feet.
The one thing that would trouble the Rovers coach Craig Sandercock was the fact that how they sucked in David Hodgson. Daryl Goulding, a beautiful offload that sent Charnley on his way.
Here's Liam Salter again. He tried to get past Daryl Goulding, but Harrison Hansen was in there quickly. Dobson at dummy half. Mika hits the ball at pace. That was a good tackle by Lee Mossop.
Eddie, the beauty of rugby league is very often its simplicity, and I think you can tell that in the first 5 minutes of this game, about which team or which player is prepared to run the hardest with the ball and tackle the strongest when they don't have it. Hull Kingston Rovers' only chance of competing here today is to run as aggressively as Wigan when they carry the ball forward, as Charlie here now attempts to do it for Wigan. Now, early in this game, Hull Kingston Rovers have managed to match Wigan's aggression, but they have to do that for the next 75.
Yes, they do. You can't switch off. Here comes Scott Taylor again. Scott Taylor, formerly with Hull Kingston Rovers, signed this close season.
That's going to be a penalty, obstruction, run across him. He just hesitated, gave himself away. Well picked up there by Richard Silverwood. Experienced referee. You can see there the run across, and as soon as he went round the back of him, he'd no option, the man with the whistle.
So penalty to Hull KR for obstruction, and Dobson, not interested in the 2 points on offer, will punt the ball into touch with the left boot, and they will come again, Will Rovers, from the 20-metre line. And here goes Jordan Cox. He's played for Gateshead on dual registration this year as Jordan Cox. He's battled his way into the Rovers side, though. Josh Hodgson. And here is Adam Walker. And the Wigan defence bring him down. Hodgson was looking over his shoulder then. Did well in the end. And Hodgson gets to it. An inch or two of the line.
Well, the fans thought, some of the Wigan players thought that he'd utilise the obstruction. Not the best pass.
Eden picks it up on the bounce, and Greg Eden, it's opened up for Egan. He now has run behind a man. It's a penalty the other way for obstruction. No option really, Stuart Cummings, in either of those two decisions.
No, not at all. They're fairly straightforward. You know, just players running around the back of their own man. So, you know, clear offsides. Obstruction.
Well, if he'd not done that, he might well have been in. Would have been a great start. As it is, it's 0-0. 7 minutes gone.
They need to settle down now, the Wigan. And realise that they got it out wide. That's a good angle run as well. That's brilliant stuff.
It is Harrison Hansen. Good run from him. Nika and Jordan Cox with the tackle. McIlorum gets the ball away. Here's Matty Smith. Now it's with Darryl Goulding. He's got Charnley on his outside. Just a little flick pass. Lovegrove gets the tackle in with the help of David Hodgson. I think Hodgson might have a busy night tonight over there on the left-hand side of the Rovers defence.
Well, he was deceived earlier, but that's a great push-off. That's a wonderful run there.
Well, he just turned his back and the Hull KR man collapsed after the tackle. He's down in back play. The players continuing here, though. Blake Green. Oh, Greg Eden. He lost the ball. It's going to be a penalty to Wigan for offside. But meanwhile, there is concern for the man who is on the ground.
Is it Jordan Cox? Did he get his head on the wrong side of the tackle, Eddie?
Well, he seemed to come into collision with the backside. This is the incident where we see the Wigan side getting the penalty for offside. It flicks off Eden, and then the man, Craig Hall, palms it out, and he was in an offside position.
Yeah, he just couldn't get the head out of the way. And it really was an awkward tackle.
Jordan Cox, it is.
Yeah, I think it is Cox. Well, is that a fiery start as the big second rower, that's for sure. Look how he just can't get away from it.
And Taylor turned his back, so he actually hit maybe the hip bone as well.
He's a big man, he's a big unit, is Taylor. And he just went in awkward.
Well, he hasn't had some very much luck in Wigan, Jordan Cox. Playing for Hull Kingston Rovers reserves previously in Wigan. He actually got an injury, Eddie. Ended up going to hospital and had emergency surgery to have his spleen removed. So
yes,
his memories of playing in this town won't be particularly happy ones.
No, he seems to be in a bit of a mess here. As I say, right into contact with the bottom of Taylor's back.
Yeah, he went in awkward. He knew that he couldn't get his head out of the way.
Yeah, a little bit of late footwork from Scott Taylor and a bit of a pivot meant that Jordan Cox ended up in a poor position. Wasn't going in a bad position, going in a pretty good position to the tackle. But of course, you can't legislate for what the runner with the ball is going to do. And on that occasion, Scott Taylor deciding at the last minute to turn his hip in and try and get on the outside of Jordan Cox has meant that the Hull Kingston Rovers player suffered what looks like a pretty serious injury.
Well, let's hope that he gets well soon. And talking about getting well soon, an old colleague of mine, former Great Britain star Phil Lowe. I hope we get a lot better soon, Phil. He's had a collapsed lung today, and we'll look forward to you getting back to 100%, as we do also for this second row at Jordan Cox.
Well, let's just look ahead to next week. We're back here again next Friday night for Wigan against Huddersfield. That currently would be second against top. If Wigan win here, they will go top of the table for 48 hours at least until Huddersfield play at the weekend themselves. And then we're going to see Hull Kingston Rovers next Sunday. It's the big city derby. Hull Kingston Rovers against Hull FC next Sunday at 2 o'clock, Sky Sports 1. That's next weekend. This is this weekend, and our Friday night Super League comes from Wigan, where Jordan Cox, as you can see, is receiving oxygen, and he was plainly spark out, and sympathetic round of applause from the Wigan supporters. And he hit a bus that was called Scott Taylor.
A lot of pressure goes on Craig Sandercock right now, Eddie. He's got to try and rejig his interchange. He'll have gone in with a plan when he was going to spell some of his big forwards, how long he was going to give them on the field. And with that man leaving the field now, and perhaps Evan Tumavavi going to come on, we'll see shortly. That means that Hull Kingston Rovers now have got to change their interchange, and some of the players are going to have to do a lot more work than was initially expected of them.
Rubbery legs as well for Jordan Cox as he leaves the field.
It's a great advantage for Wigan, of course, because the man that's got to take his position, he'll be a little bit raw.
So here they come, Wigan, and it's Chris Hewson with the first drive. 15 metres away, plays the ball to McIlorum. There is Blake Green, pops it up to Lee Mossop. Australia bound 2014 is Lee Mossop. He'll join Parramatta Eels. McIlorum, he fooled them. He was going to go right. He came down the left-hand channel.
Great work by the hooker.
Hewson is dummy half again. Spreads the ball wide to Gelling. Gelling can't get it away under pressure from Gleeson and Hall. McIlorum scampers in there to dummy half. Spreads it wide then to Green. He again gives it to Scott Taylor, who's now getting the rounds of the kitchen from the Hull Kingston Rovers supporters behind the post there. It's McIlorum again, and Green gives it to Matty Smith. Matty Smith was clattered as that kick came in. I don't think there was too much late about it. It was a desperate challenge. Was it a shoulder charge?
Well, it certainly looks that way.
He had his left arm around him.
Yeah, he's gone for him with his arm, so that wouldn't be classed as a shoulder charge. No. So he's there, he's hitting chest on.
Just a bit of housekeeping, Eddie, on the substitutions. We see this. I think it's just a great tackle. But it's Lincoln Withers that has come on for Jordan Cox. So we'll see if Lincoln Withers will maybe play in the loose forward position. Tom Meek and Reece Lovegrove in the back row. We'll see how that pans out.
Well, the other team from the city of Kingston upon Hull, Hull FC. Wigan's Wembley opponents lead Widnes Vikings 6-0. That's the latest score from the KC Stadium, where it's been announced today our dear friend Sean McRae is on his way home at the end of this year. He's decided that the lure of life back in Australia is too much to bear, and he's away. We will all miss him. We'll miss Sean.
Yeah, well, he said he couldn't handle the weather over here, Eddie.
It's taken him about 18 years to find out it's not as good as it is on the Queensland coast, where I believe he's heading. Mossop will try and get to his feet.
Oh, that was forward a mile, not seen by the officials. It's a knock on anyway. This will be the free play.
It is the free play. And it was a bit of a tame effort at a free play, I must say.
They're in that habit of kicking, aren't they? I reckon you're better off running that ball, getting Wigan on the back foot and going again, speeding the play up. That aimless kick gives everybody a chance to get resettled.
Well, Hull care need to get in the habit of celebrating here. When Wigan don't score at it and they have the ball in Rovers half of the field, that's a tick in the right direction here. They've had a goal line dropout, a penalty close to their own line here, and they've survived without conceding points in the first 10 minutes of a game in Super League against Wigan. That's of key importance.
Widnes striking back at the KC Stadium. Meanwhile, this is Craig Hall. That's wonderful tackling back. And what a confidence boost that will be for Joe Burgess. And all the senior players come across and congratulate the 18-year-old.
Yeah, did well, stuck to his task, but it was a beautiful little offload by Sean Gleeson. to his winger Hall, but the youngster, he said, try to go around me and you won't.
Do you think, Mike, that's too high risk of play here? It's 0-0 at Wigan. You've got 70 minutes to go, and it's the first tackle. You've not had the ball for a while, and you tend to take on the opponents on the outside.
Well, the thing is, it was a beautiful offload by Sean Gleeson. It gave him the half break. Maybe he was testing the youngster. The youngster stepped up to the plate big time.
Yes, he did. The 9th debutant in Wigan's colours this year. 6th that has come through their junior ranks. They continue to produce, don't they, at Wigan, as they do at St Helens, of course, as they do at Leeds. I understand that other clubs have production lines as well.
And to be fair to the coach, Sean Wayne, he's not frightened to give them that opportunity as well. OK, we know there's a few people out injured, and Sam Tompkins is ill, but he's not frightened to do that. He gives them the opportunity, and that's the best way to learn. And
he always says he's looking forward to seeing how they perform at the top level. Well, that will be a tremendous start for Burgess. That'll be a great confidence boost. This won't be for Hull KR because they have conceded a penalty to Wigan deep in their own territory.
Well, it was
interference at the play of the ball.
Yeah, but it was innocuous as far as I was concerned, but they've got away with it.
So Blake Green, oh, and they went for the interception there, and here comes Burgess again. He ducks under one challenge, tries to go round at Travis Burns. They get him down in the end. That was almost the dream debut for Burgess. Might still be as he plays the ball to McIlorum. Here is Green again, and Green tries to go through a gap. The defenders are told to move. Walker's right in the ruck there. Get away with it though, De Rovers. Good hands. Charnley, the top try scorer in Super League, is in again. 28th try of the campaign for Josh Charnley. A man, of course, who was on loan at Hull Kingston Rovers 3 years ago, 2010. 5 tries in 5 appearances for Josh Charnley. And he certainly knows how to stand defenders up, doesn't he, when he gets the ball on the outside.
Well, it was a silly penalty to give away, but it looked a bit innocuous as far as I'm concerned. O'Loughlin pushed him away, but it was sufficient for Richard Silverwood to give them the opportunity. And you can see that Hodgson came out of the line. It wasn't just 2-on-1, it finished up 3-on-1. Messing around at that play the ball. Neat play. One of the easiest tries he'll score this season. Here's the winger, Josh Charnley. Not just 2-on-1, it was 3-on-1, and that's the quality of this Wigan outfit. Give them that half a snip, and boy, they'll be sneezing right down you.
28 tries this year now for Charnley, 101 tries in his Wigan career. He's leading the way. England international, of course, Josh Charnley. And he is the man, with Pat Richards out of the side, who gets the goal-kicking responsibilities. It's interesting because Matty Smith is a goal kicker. But it's Charnley who gets the first chance. And he's just pushed it in front of the posts. So his try, no goal, 4-0 Wigan.
Well, he can kick a ball, not on that occasion, but he's certainly a better try scorer than he is a goal kicker. I want to talk about this young man, Eddie. We just got a little cameo in the build-up to that try from Joe Burgess, a little bit of a contribution. He decided not to go on the outside. On this occasion, Craig Hall said, yes, I'll take you on the outside. Burgess says, no, you won't, I'll drag you into touch. When Burgess got a ball on the outside, he decided, no, I'm going to cut back inside, I'll play the percentages, play the ball quickly, and allow my team to score on the other side of the field. A very smart play from a player making his first appearance.
Wow. Would you want to see a second opinion? Good point, Brian, there, but was this kick directly out? Are they going to review it again? Does he touch the ball and take it out, Stuart?
Well, it's the player that's on the dead ball line. He's got his foot over the dead ball line. He's the one that touches it. So he's the one that actually takes it out.
You don't think it's Matthew Smith who touches it?
Well, I think the touch has got from the man who's already over there.
I think it's Matty Smith.
The referee has had someone whispering in his ear, and it's a goal line dropout. He's changed his mind.
And they've got it right. They've got it right, because it's certainly touched by Matty Smith. Quite simple.
Yep. You're probably right there, Steve. I think Matty Smith just gets his hand to it before the other player.
And that's why we have the replay. He's not happy, Sean Wayne. But if it's against anything called Wigan, He doesn't smile often. You're kidding, sir. Me? Had my foot over there.
No, his foot actually, as he will look on the DVD when he gets home tonight, his foot was in the air, Matty Smith.
What a great result, Eddie, when you've just conceded. Now you get the ball back unexpectedly. You get the charge at the Wigan line and put some pressure on them with a kick at the end of the set.
And Mickey Payer is the first man with the first charge this set of 6.
I'm thinking try, Brian. Never mind kick at the end of this set. About 1 in 4 of one of these goal line dropouts end up as a try. They need to make this one of those 4.
Lincoln Withers finds Dobson. Dobson finds Eden, who loves to chime into the line. He gets it away to Liam Salter. And Charnley in defensive mode now.
Good work there. You saw Charnley, the winger, come inside and then watch Daryl Goulding go outside to take the man if he went towards the touchline.
Rees goes down on tackle number 4. Withers again finds Dobson. Dobson gets the ball away. No way through because McIlaurin was quick on Travis Burns, but then on the last tackle there was pushing and shoving and interference in the play the ball area, and so it's another penalty for Rovers. This is a golden opportunity for them, and it's a test of this Wigan defence.
Well, both sides realise now Richard Silverwood is going to be the boss.
Withers to Dobson. Dobson looks for the runner. It's Payer trying to use his considerable strength. It took 3 to bring him down. Lincoln Withers is there again, finds Dobson once more. Dobson to Eden, and Rovers are in. Well, they got the goal line dropout, then they got a penalty on the last tackle, and they've turned that possession into points, courtesy of Greg Eden. 13th try in Super League, 14th in all for Eden. He is their top try scorer. He got the only try in the horror show against Wigan on Easter Monday. And Eden, the England Knights international, the pressure is told, and Hull KR are level.
They made a mess of the kick-off. You can see quite clearly Matt Smith has taken it over from the dropout. Then they got the penalty, messing around. Tucson, arm underneath. Silverwood said, we'll give the whistle a blow. But this is a beautiful pass here. Talk about just delayed at the right moment. Michael Dobson, the skipper. This is wonderful stuff. See how Matty Smith thought there was going to be a short ball, and soon as he came out of the line, this fella picked him and gave it a beautiful pass to Greg Eden. And wonderful work try.
Can the skipper add the extras? He can. And Hull Kingston Rovers have the lead at Wigan. They are ahead by 6 points to 4.
And fully deserved, and he'll be happy, Craig Sandercock. They were put under pressure early in the piece, but how many times has this Michael Dobson been the creator? Soon as Matty Smith came out on the angle, Dobson picks him out. There you go, there's a gap, and there is a TRY.
From Eden, and Dobson is beginning to torment his former club. Here in 2006, 7 years ago, Michael Dobson, he's on his way to the Knights next year, which is a blow for Hull KR, but they do have a couple of big-name players coming in. Michael Wayman is one of them, and the Papua New Guinea international Neville Costigan is the other.
We'll get a look, Eddie, at half-time from John Wells, where Greg Eden came from on that run. I believe he was in such a hidden position that there was no way Matty Smith could have seen him. Matty Smith therefore had to come in and make a play on who he thought was going to get the ball, but Greg Eden's disguised run allowed him to pop up where nobody expected him. It was asking too much of the Wigan defender outside Matty Smith to correct himself late and make that tackle. I think it was a tremendous run from the fullback, but we'll get that analysis from John at half-time.
It's important now the Rovers get a good kick away. He's under pressure. Dobson has got to be forced into it. He was going to kick early. Now they've got to wait until the last. They haven't really tested this Ryan Hampshire yet, and they're not going to try him either. They're just going to go for the touchline. They've got it. They're playing percentages.
Good work from Travis Burns. 13th appearance in a row at standoff for Burns.
Yeah, he knew exactly what he was going to do.
Let's get some news, Steve-O, from Graham about Jordan Cox.
Yes, Jordan Cox is in the dressing room. He has no recollection whatsoever of what happened. He has no idea what happened. They're keeping him under observation. They don't think he's going to need to go to hospital, but it just shows you the sort of blow that he took when he was forced to leave the field.
Yes, it was a heavy blow, all right. Obviously knocked out cold. We probably then, if that's the case, will not be seeing Jordan Cox again tonight.
Well, I think with the knock that he's got, Eddie, it would be rather foolish, wouldn't it, to take a risk?
Shanley lying all over the top of the Hulkinson Rovers player, says the referee, so get up and play the ball and play on. The Wigan faithful are not terribly impressed with that decision.
Well, I am. I thought that was good refereeing. He wants to keep it flowing.
Oh, and there's a break on here, possibly from Taylor.
Eddie, if you look at the last 3 runs by the Wigan players, after hitting the defender, all of them made extra metres beyond the defensive line. That's been a big difference between these until anyway Gelling comes up with an error. But the metres that the Wigan players make after they make that first contact with the defender makes a big contribution to their success.
That's a great hit by Sean Gleeson.
It was. It certainly, he knew exactly where the ball was going. And Gleeson just lined him up. Bang. What a big swinging right arm, shoulder, dislodging the ball.
And a big pat on the back for Sean Gleeson from Craig Hall. Craig Hall shot in, was anticipating a ball going in behind. He would have got caught out had Gleeson not come up with that great tackle. So he recognised the good defensive work of his centre partner.
Well, you know, 20 minutes into this game, the stats would have suggested that Wigan would be in front, and that's primarily because of the breaks that they've made. I think they'd be disappointed with the one that Matthew Smith made, and Jordan Cox got back to trap him. They weren't there in support to convert some of their chances into points.
Who did well to keep hold of it there, Sean Gleeson. Really into his face, the youngster.
Well, the stats might be predicting Wigan ahead, but it's Hulkinson Rovers who are ahead. Oh, that's dangerous from O'Loughlin.
Got to be a penalty, and there's got to be a bit of a caution. He just lost his control there, lost his cool, did the skipper, Sean O'Loughlin.
Mickey Pay was just laughing in the face of Michael McIlaurin.
Yep. Saying you can't hurt me.
And then just the lift from the skipper.
Well, they're losing the cool. At a time when the coach, Sean Wayne, doesn't look impressed, does he?
Rarely does, to be fair, during the course of the game. Another penalty, Hodgson. He shouted rather, the referee, move. And then they put him, he shouts, held there, and then they put him down, and then he says move, and Gelling again is penalised because his hand's in the ruck.
He goes back on the ball after the tackle's complete, you know, when the players should have been clear.
Here's Gleeson, this is a great chance. That's bounced off a Wigan hand.
That'll be a try. Oh no, it's sent a forward pass.
I'm sure that took a ricochet, didn't it, off a Wigan player? It might have been going forward anyway, in his view.
He's deemed it going forward. Yeah. And the ball has hit the head of young Joe Burgess.
I thought you looked at the hand, Stuart. This hand, to me, is pointing towards his own line.
But it's the way it comes out. It comes out, even though his hand is that way, it does actually come out forward in that case. Usually the normal way to pass is with 2 hands. But in that situation with one, his body angles just took him round while it goes forward.
I think it was emphasised by the fact that it nicked off the head of Burgess, didn't it?
Yeah, it hit him on his melon, so he's got it right.
And here's a penalty for Wigan now, which will be greeted with roars of approval from the Wigan supporters. Actually, the other thing in that no-try possibility for Craig Hall, he might have actually knocked it on over the line anyway. However, that's academic now. Here's the penalty for Wigan that's drained them 30 valuable metres. Gelling takes it forward again.
And you know, the Warriors needed that penalty because they're at cross purposes. A lot of verbals being thrown at them from this Hulkinson Rovers side.
Some good signs though here in the defence. The Rovers need to get as excited when defending as they are when attacking. Really get up and put pressure now on the Wigan ball players.
Whoa, that was high. Didn't miss him, did he?
He didn't. It was Adam Walker who was a little careless.
Yeah, the prop forward, swinging left arm. Boom. Did not miss. Well, 2 penalties on the trot. It normally presents the quality sides a golden opportunity, and it looks like the Cherry and Whites may take advantage here.
Luaki is on the field.
Switch to the blind, maybe on.
Not very popular with the Rovers supporters who are here, of course, because of his days the other side of the city. Here's Goulding again. Got the pass away. Let's play on, and Dobson to the rescue.
Knocked it down here. We'll have a scrum here.
He's playing the first knock on.
Knocked it down.
Yeah, I think he's got it right. I think you'll see the
Bigger advantage is a knock on.
the hand of.
Well, went backwards, didn't it?
That looked as though it went backward from David Hodgson.
Well, I don't think there's been a knock on anywhere from anybody. It's passed backwards first from Wigan, knocked back by Hodgson, and it keeps going backwards, and then it's made dead after that.
What you're saying is Richard Silverwood's not having a good spell, Stuart.
Well, there's a lot going on at the minute, and I think that's the first one he's got wrong, to be fair to him.
So opportunities for Wigan there with Jack Hughes, who's on the field.
He's got to take control, you know, Richard Silverwood. It's getting a little bit messy out there.
Luaki trundling it forward, taking 3 men with him. Now then, McIlorum's weighing up options left and right. He's going to go right into centre field to Green, but it was a poor pass. It bobbled its way to Smith. Here's Goulding. And Goulding's got the hand free. He's looking to offload it. And he goes down in the challenge.
Well, there's nobody on the inside. He could have got rid of it as well, but there's no one there.
McIlorum to Smith. Smith to Luaki. Everyone, according to Sean Wayne, has to play well this week, next week and the week after to have any hope of playing at Wembley. Blake Green looking to thread through the eye of a needle. Good defence on show from Rovers again. They've reached the last tackle. They don't want to give away a penalty here. And it's with Matty Smith who slides the kick in. Dobson to the rescue, clattered by Harrison Hansen.
Boy, he did well there, Dobson. Put himself in a good position, but Hansen really took him apart.
A great defensive set from Hull Kingston Rovers. Reacting very well, cleaning up and tidying up and concentrating in defence is what you said they'd have to do. Now the bonus for them going into this game is there would be no Sam Tompkins. They might have received another bonus. Sean O'Loughlin has come off the field, got quickly checked on the bench by the physio, and then went down into the tunnel. I'm sure Graham Beecroft will give us an update. But if Sean O'Loughlin is no longer able to take a part in this game, well, that's as big a bonus as I think is no Sam Tompkins.
Yes, he's very important to them, Sean O'Loughlin, the captain. He gets on with his work quietly and efficiently. He's a tackling machine. He's quite creative as well when he's got the ball in his hands. Ryan Hampshire picks it up and gives it to another of the youngsters, Burgess.
Interesting to talk about the youngster Ryan Hampshire is that he's got many opportunities to chime into. That's a great hit.
Gelling has dropped another one. And here goes the free play. Craig Hall has backed himself to get round. And Jack Hughes to the rescue. So this will come back, won't it? Or no, he will give it a goal line dropout, Stuart, because greater advantage. Is that right?
That's what he's ruled, the greater advantage. The scrum would have been on the 40-metre line, so we'll see whether Hull Kingston Rovers have their first tackle beyond the 40-metre line.
Well, there's no Pat Richards, so there's a chance that they might, because Richards normally clears halfway with the goal line dropouts.
Well, they should get at least to the 30-metre line, shouldn't they? Now, will they try to go for the short one that hits the ground and then puts the scrum down? Or will it go deep?
Dom Crosby did all right there because he put himself in an awkward position and Craig Hall couldn't get round him. Not a bad dropout from Matty Smith. Eden's underneath it. Well, yes, they're going to get over the place where the scrum might have been put down. Just about, with Richard Beaumont. Here's Twimavavi. He came from Newcastle Knights this winter to where Michael Dobson is going. And there is Dobson. And they're looking busy here. Ooh. And that ball was put down. And here we go with the free play again for Wigan this time. And Burgess is the man who takes the tackle. So that's the zero. The zero tackle.
Yeah, a good build-up there by the Rovers. And it was the offload that just came a little bit too late. Crowd wanting the penalty. He did have a second rush, he did. You can see there that
Josh Hodgson takes that, he's probably in.
Yeah, there's no one there at home, that's for sure.
Luaki goes down under the challengers again. Still inside their own half, Wigan. Logan Tompkins is out there. Oh, that's great footwork, tremendous stuff. And away goes Hampshire. He's got support. Charlie's held a little bit by Dobson, and then they come in and eventually get him down. But look where he ends up, just a metre or so away from the line. Hampshire, the dummy half. Flies the ball to Smith. Oh, untidy again from Wigan. They've lost momentum here. Can Harrison Hansen inject more life into them? No, he can't, because Jack Hughes has put the ball down. Wigan are not on song tonight.
You can say that again. Just not at the races at the moment, but give full credit to Ryan Hampshire. Beautiful break, wasn't it?
Well, Wigan scored 70 points last week, but it's very unlikely in rugby league that a team could do something like that 2 weeks in a row. I know it happened. I know it has happened previously, but it's very unlikely. And at the moment, Wigan aren't converting their breaks or chances into points. And it's the reason why Hull Kingston Rovers, with a bit of desperation and more commitment than they showed at Easter, are clinging on in this game.
I think the biggest problem, Phil, is that a halfback, Matty Smith, he really has not taken control of this game. He normally is a key player. He's the man that they all run off him. But some of the passes, 2 or 3 already tonight, has not been out of the top drawer.
They have stuttered, haven't they, in Super League lately at Wigan. Their record in terms of results proves that.
That might have been recent form, Eddie, but I was impressed with the setup that Matty Smith put in place to get Ryan Hampshire way down that right-hand side. That's a warning sign to Hull Kingston Rovers. Again, Phil and John said it in the build-up. You switch off for a second, and Wigan will sting you.
Here's Dobson. Gets the ball away. That's good defence from Anthony Gelling.
Yeah. Read it all the way. Knew it was coming out.
No way for Gleeson to go through. Here's Eden. Down the line for Hall to chase this. Good kick. Well picked up by Burgess.
Surrender. Stand up. Hold. Go. Surrendered.
Actually, my mistake. That was Ryan Hampshire.
2. Move.
Now this is where the Rovers really try to force the error and not give away a silly penalty. Be steady, don't lift the legs.
Move.
A bit excited there.
Wait. Go. 3.
Well, they obviously sense that perhaps this could be a night for them against Wigan. Oh, he's lost that.
Knock on.
He has lost that, has Daryl Goulding. The mistakes are coming thick and fast.
Yeah, well, I mentioned before the game started, you come off a game the week previous, you've run riot, you've scored 70 points, so they're thinking in their mind, let's keep doing it. Let's keep moving all the time. And what they really need, and I'm sure that Sean Wayne, the coach, will get the message out, you need good, solid, hard work first, then we'll put on the class when we get close to the opposition line.
Well, last week's man of the match, Sean O'Loughlin, is off the field. Graham's got news of him.
Yes, he's been down to the tunnel, but as you can see, he's got a problem with his calf there, heavily iced, so it remains to be seen whether he can shake off that injury and continue in the game. We shall see as time progresses.
He's out there with the ice. That's the important thing as far as they're concerned. Here is Richard Beaumont again.
Well, both him and Tyler Heppier, they really run with some aggression. They've punched some holes behind that Wigan line, and they're giving Dobson a platform and a chance here now to attack and extend the lead.
The other team in Hull are ahead 16-10 against Widnes. Lincoln Withers finds Dobson, who slides the kick in. Charnley just to the rescue, flicks the ball over the dead ball line.
And that's the quality that you get from Michael Dobson. Remember, he created that first try for Eden to come on the angle, but now he's applying the pressure. Twisting the tourniquet, beautiful little kick through. He reads the game ever so well. Take nothing away from Charnley, he read it too.
Well, he got a great
comes
bounce.
the third goal line dropout.
Absolutely, Eddie, but he got a great bounce, Josh Charnley, on that occasion. That ball started off staying low on the ground off the boot of Michael Dobson. Had it continued to stay low, it would have been a very difficult one for Charnley to deal with. He'll have been glad that it popped up for him.
Well, you know, Hull Kingston Rovers really are matching Wigan as the game's going on. The last time they played against the Warriors, they missed over 10% of the tackles, but the defence has been far better. It's given them a chance, even though you would imagine at this stage Wigan would have a lead. They've wasted so many chances. Can the Rovers convert this one?
Travis Burns and Dobson again. He's seen the gap as Dobson. He's on the way. They can't stop him, and he gets the ball down cleanly. And Michael Dobson has scored another try for Hull Kingston Rovers. Well, the Wigan supporters believe that they have seen something in back play that should have meant this try went under the microscope at least. But Craig Sandercock's men have increased the lead.
Problem with Josh Charnley's knee, Eddie. He was involved in the tackle and he has stayed down in the corner of the pitch. Physio's making their way over to him now, but he hasn't moved.
Well, it looks a problem on the knees. He's not too happy. This guy is. He's got smile all the time. And remember, it was Dobson that put in that little short kick that got the dropout from underneath, and that is a wonderful individual effort. The quality of this man to such an extent that he will be going down into the NRL as a third selection at half-back, and that is a wonderful, wonderful effort. There you see the problem. It's the right knee with Josh Charnley.
Well, the concern for Wigan is about Charnley, but of more immediate concern is the fact that they are trailing here by 10 points to 4, and this kick from Dobson has missed, just pushed it the wrong side of the posts. Wigan 4, Hulkingston Rovers 10. Dobson, though, pulling the strings, and Charnley limping his way back into the line.
Do you know, Eddie, just before that try was scored, I was just going to mention that with only 2 points adrift and Wigan not playing well, I'm taking nothing away from the Rovers' efforts, but with Wigan just not clicking together, to be just 2 points behind, there would be no reason to panic. I'm not so sure that Sean Wayne will be thinking the same thing now.
Well, the kick-off from Dobson is fielded by Greg Eden. He tips the ball inside. It's another solid run from one of the big men. And they're trying desperately to hold Beaumont down there. Lincoln Withers. And there is Tyler Heppy. He's only 19 years of age. Kick downfield, and attempted 40-20 this is. Burgess deals with it. Good chase, though, on the youngster.
And it's all about controlling the game, and they certainly are doing that with the kick. The kick and chase has been top class so far, and you can see they're eager. They can sniff a real big upset here.
Well, 5 minutes to half-time. They have a 6-point advantage. Looks like Charnley isn't too bad all of a sudden. Logan Tompkins is the dummy half. Solid work by Beaumont, solid work by this Rovers defence.
Brilliant by Beaumont, Ed. He'd been watching him closely for the last few plays. Oh, he's conceded a penalty, but Gigi getting stuck in.
It's all right getting stuck in. You've got to get off the player who's on the deck as well.
They're the most penalised team in Super League for interference, Eddie. That's the most common cause of a penalty in Rugby League. People holding down or interfering around the play of the ball. And at the present, Rovers are guilty of being that more often than any other team. They'll have to reduce that if they want to make an impression in the playoffs.
4 minutes to half-time. Wigan looking to get back on the level terms. And Matty Smith's pass found Harrison Hansen.
Did well to hang on to that Hansen. It was a good hit from Dobson.
Here's Matty Smith again. And Hampshire has joined the line. Hands in at the ruck again, this time by Liam Salter.
Well, you often wonder whether Craig Sandicott, the Rovers coach, actually teaches them to try to slow the game down, but it could prove costly.
This is Dom Crosby. Important period of the match this for both sides. Can Wigan get back level at half-time? Jack Hughes. Can Rovers hold on to this 6-point advantage? Not the best. Another penalty, another hand in the ruck, and they're now on a warning. The referee says next infringement will be somebody in the sin bin.
And that puts a lot of nerves on the defending side as well. They know they've got to go clean. They know they can't mess around, get off him. They're trying to hold him down as much as they can.
Tompkins tried to spin his way past Josh Hodgson. And Logan will get to his feet and play it here to Luaki. Luaki with a dummy. He'll try and use his weight and his
He's
strength.
lost it.
And has he lost it, or did he get it down?
I think he's knocked on.
This is a question for the video referee, James Child. There's no wild celebrations from Epelhami Luaki.
I think he lost it. It's a good little dummy and step. And this is where it disappears.
It's short anyway.
It's short there.
That's a try.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think the ball is going backwards.
I think he's short of the line, and the ball then comes out after the tackle's complete.
I think that ball rolls over in that tackle.
I think it goes backwards, but we'll soon find out. James Child, video ref tonight.
But he's short there, definitely.
Yeah. And then he loses control of it.
He's still got control, Steve-O, now.
Yeah, but you can't roll it forward with your hand. There doesn't seem like the momentum that I know he's often awarded to give a try.
Now you can see the ball going backwards. This has to be turned down. But guess what?
Stuart, everyone up here is arguing. What do you say? You've had as many looks now as James Child.
I think it's no try. He's lost his short of the line. The ball's grounded short of the line. There's no momentum that takes him over, and then the ball's lost. I think that's no try.
Well, I wonder if James Child agrees. He does.
I agree with Stuart.
Well, if that's the case and the ball's lost, it's now third tackle attack.
Oh, well, I thought he'd lost the ball. Perhaps the video referee's seen it differently, that he kept possession of it.
He certainly maintained possession. I think it.
Well, it went backwards, so it's not a knock-on. I think the official have got it right.
Okay, it's still not over yet for Rovers. They thought they'd repelled everything. That's a short ball from the halfback to Tewson. And here is Logan Tompkins. It was good work by Blake Green initially. Tompkins goes down. This is the last tackle coming up then for Wigan. Oh, and a chance here. But that's good defence on Dom Crosby.
Tremendous. He took the gamble, Dick Crosby, and you couldn't blame him. When you're so close to the line, okay, they'll come back onto that 20-metre line and play it. It was on the last. Oh, great stuff. Good work there by Travis Burns.
Do we agree that Rovers are worth this half-time lead?
Oh,
yes.
Well, when you defend like that, Eddie, that's brilliant. We see their neighbours and rivals 28 points to 10 up against Widnes, but the question mark we've had against Hull Kingston Rovers all season is their ability to defend. We know that they're exciting and they can score points. And Phil said beforehand, keep Wigan to under 20 points, you got a chance in the game. Well, halfway through this game, they're certainly taking a large step towards getting 2 points. It's great defensive display from Rovers.
It is, and remember, they have lost 11 in a row, Hull Kingston Rovers against Wigan, since their last victory 5 years ago. We're into the last minute of this first half now.
I tell you what, Eddie, you know, they lost Jordan Cox. Okay, he didn't look well, and he had to leave the field of play, but that forced Craig Sandercock to throw on Lincoln Withers, and he's rejuvenated them.
That's a great ball from Travis Burns. And that's another great ball to Sean Gleeson. He says it's gone forward. Well, this is harsh.
I think so too.
And Stuart Cummings is blowing his cheeks out also. And Craig Sandercock doesn't agree.
Well, that was a call that came from the touch judge at the side. He was in line with the play. It looked all right coming out of their hands. And, you know, very often on a pass like that, it looks like it's being passed forward when it's actually the momentum that's taking it forward. You like that one, Steve?
Yeah, that's not a forward pass.
That should have been play on. He's looking.
Well, look out, Wigan. I think you're going to get the rounds of the kitchen when you get in the dressing rooms. And the look on that man's face. 15 seconds for Rovers to hang on. That's Blake Green. He finds Matty Smith. Matty Smith slides the kick through for Charnley to chase. And the bounce is perfect. And Charnley gets the ball inside. And Darryl Goulding will score for Wigan. Right on the bell. There's the half-time siren sounding. It was a beautiful kick through by Matty Smith. Absolutely magnificent. But it all came about as a result of what maybe should never have been called as a forward pass. Sandercock didn't agree. Nobody up here agreed much. But Wigan didn't stick around and argue. Was this forward? It doesn't look it.
No, it looks A-OK. But the touch judge on this near side indicated to Richard Silverwood. But this is one of the best kicks you'll see. He hesitated. It surprised me that Richard Silverwood didn't go upstairs to see if Charnley was onside. Both touch judges went to the corner, so that's the reason why Silverwood points the finger. I think he was pretty close to the mark, but Charnley kept his cool. Goulding finishes off. In the first half, really, that Wigan have been outplayed, and yet they could equalise.
And they do, courtesy of the boot of Josh Charnley. The try from Goulding. It's 10 points apiece. Stuart Cummings mentioned the dreaded word momentum. Of course, the player was on the ground and was tackled, Stuart, when the ball came out. So, in effect, there was probably no momentum, but then the ball did appear to drift forward, but the hands were facing the other way.
But it was the left hand that had control of the pass, and the left hand actually passed the bball backwards. But the player had momentum going into the tackle. So as he passes the ball, there's still momentum there. Because he's actually doesn't stop the momentum on the ball.
Well, it's 10 apiece. We were saying that Rovers were value for money for the 10-4 half-time advantage, but we didn't reckon on a brilliant kick from Matty Smith and an alert run from Charnley and the try from Goulding. It's all square at the break.
Sky Bet sponsors Sky Sports coverage of the Super League.
Brand new season, Premier League at the Mr. David Beckham!
Specially selected vegetables and richly spiced sauces with fluffy steamed rice. That's my delicious Uncle Ben's rice time. Begin with Ben.
Time? We have no time for. Hours and minutes don't matter when you live every second. Here's to here and now. And right now, mañana can wait. San Miguel Fresca, o la vida.
I am a Royal Marines officer. These are my men. They are ready for anything. They are focused. They push themselves to the limit. But I don't just lead them. I fight by their side. If you think you have the leadership skills and state of mind it takes to be a Royal Marines officer, we can train you. Search Royal Marines officer online or find us on Facebook.
We'll end this tonight, and when it's over, you'll go to prison.
From executive producer Ridley Scott comes a knockout action movie. Welcome to The Punch, on DVD and Blu-ray now.
Hello, pretty ladies.
Funto, seriously mixed up fruit.
Play game on Facebook for a chance to win great prizes.
A state-of-the-art smartphone, an electronic book reader, some house keys, a tablet, more tablets, an assortment of ladies' makeup, a Cumberland sausage, and oh yes, a cuddly toy.
Must we do this every time we leave the house?
Oh, yes.
To add personal possessions cover to your home insurance, chat to Churchill.
Men's face care. It's not the same as women's face care. Forget complicated, time-consuming, and potentially painful. Moisturising can be simple, fast, and feel good. Nivea Men Originals Moisturising Cream, from a pioneer of male skincare. Results that get noticed. Nivea Men. It starts with you.
Victor!
Morris, how did you get in here?
When you're a wag, Vic, doors just open. Oops. Before they clock I'm a geezer, give us your best odds on the match.
Morris, if you want our best odds, just go on to betvictor.com. We had the best odds most often on the Premier League last season.
Ooh. For a free £25 bet, talk to Victor.
If you can't see Barclays Premier League goals here, here, or here, why not watch them here, 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 or here? You can also watch them here at a wedding, here, or here. You probably shouldn't watch them here, ouch, here, here. Oh, this isn't going to end well. Here, or here.
Should have married his brother.
But here, and here should all be fine. Sun Plus Goals, the first place to see every Barclays Premier League goal on the go. Exclusive to our new digital entertainment bundle. Sun Plus, get involved.
Sky Bet sponsors Sky Sports coverage of the Super League.
Friday Night Super League on Sky Sports is all square at half-time. Wigan 10, Hulkingston Rovers 10. Charnley with a try and a goal, and Darryl Goulding right on the stroke of half-time. Eden and Dobson with the important goal for Hull KR. 10 apiece. I'd love to be a fly on the wall inside the dressing rooms right now, and actually we can take you in there and have a look, first of all, at Wigan and their coach Sean Wayne, who is slightly animated and not too impressed with what he has seen. It was, in truth, a scruffy first half from the Wigan Warriors, and I think that is possibly what Sean Wayne is telling his troops right now. Craig Sandercock couldn't believe that the pass that would have given them an even greater position at half-time than the one they held at 10 points to 4 was deemed to be a forward pass, and he's trying to rally his troops now for the second half. But John Wells, what a good contest this is.
Yeah, thanks very much, Eddie. 10-all at half-time, very even for the opening exchanges as well. The first meaningful opportunity fell to the home side, though. Greg Eden here, growing in stature, no doubt, in this KR team and in Super League. Still got some kinks to iron out in that defensive play, particularly from full-back. The subsequent Wigan possession, though, resulted in a dropout, but Wigan unusually misfiring in attack. The structure was all there for them. McIlroy opted to hit O'Loughlin and erred there, but the Robins threw away possession straight from the scrum. Now, they're in form and they're confident, but perhaps too much too early. They've got to play the long game again against teams of the calibre of Wigan. Great pass by Gleeson, though, wasn't it? No mistake on the next possession for Wigan. Unlike against St Helens in round 22, the Robins not coming out of the line to shut down Blake Green. He sticks his nose to the line, relatively quick play in the ball, and then get it through the hands to get on the outside to Josh Charnley. Prolific try scorer again in Super League 18. Wigan made a mistake then from what was an ambitious restart by Hull KR. Matty Smith with his hands to it first. Boy, are they going to miss this man, Michael Dobson, when he leaves the club for the NRL. Look at this for a bit of set-up play. First of all, Lovegrove, get outside me, he's saying, and hit me a line. Hit me a line. Eden knows exactly where he's going to be to attract the least attention. Matty Smith pulled in by Lovegrove's line, and Eden goes through untouched 4-6. Hull KR also showing a fair bit of resolve in defence. Wigan break from deep after Salter misses on Hampshire, but this is brilliant from Dobson. To be able to think so clearly on the fly and to relay to his fullback, knowing that he could take Charlie on the inside, that's a try-saving contribution right there. And what about that for a 1-2-3 then from Michael Dobson? Creates one, saves one, and then scores one on a set play. All designed to put options around Matty Smith and make him make a decision in defence. He takes the wrong option, Dobson through, he has the pace and the angle, and opens up a 6-point lead. And it was a great 39 minutes for Hull KR. A 10-point swing at least then. This the judge to be forward. That's no way was that forward at all from Greg Eden. And Matty Smith, you've got to give him some credit. He's been under pressure on that right edge, but he sees that Hull KR edge defence right up, slots the kick through, and Josh Charnley gets the favourable bounce inside to Darryl Goulding. Looks very sharp, doesn't he? Really improved on his speed over the last couple of years. So we're all square at 10-all then, but time will only tell, I guess, how important that last 30 seconds of the first half was, Eddie, because for me, that was a pretty rough decision for Hull KR to take, and I can understand why Craig Sandercock is animated, never mind Sean Wayne, after watching that first half performance from Wigan.
Yes, it was a touch and go, wasn't it? It was slide rule stuff as far as the forward pass was concerned. It was called a forward pass, and then we saw a 12-point turnaround, because had that been allowed to go, Rovers would have been in at the other end. As it is, we had the wonderful kick from Matty Smith. Our pictures have proved conclusively Charnley was way onside. Charnley made the break, and Goulding scored the try, which was improved by Josh Charnley. 10-all, it's set up nicely, isn't it, at half-time? And we'll have the second half for you when we come back. Can Rovers win against Wigan for the first time in ages? Or can the Cup finalists push on? We'll see.
Sky Bet sponsors Sky Sports coverage of the Super League.
In the absence of light, darkness prevails.
This is our time. Let the games begin.
No one brings you superheroes like Sky Movies. To upgrade to Sky Movies, go to skymovies.com/@movies.
Surely Gerrard's too far out. But he's gone for it. The keeper's off his line. He's bending. It's looking good. Can Hart get to it?
Do you? Don't you? Cash out on football. Join Betfair, download the Sportsbook app and get a free bet up to £25. Cash out. Do you? Don't you?
Men's face care. It's not the same as women's face care. Forget complicated, time-consuming and potentially painful. Moisturising can be simple, fast and feel good. Nivea Men Originals Moisturising Cream from a pioneer of male skincare. Results that get noticed. Nivea Men. It starts with you.
What if you took our world-famous bourbon and infused it with black cherry? Red Stag by Jim Beam.
It's like a blast of hydration. New Hydro Power Select from Wilkinson Sword. The only power razor with 3 levels of vibration and water-activated gel that hydrates your skin as you shave. New Hydro Power Select. Customize our best shave for your skin. Now half price. Wilkinson Sword. Free your skin.
Hello, pretty ladies.
Punto, seriously mixed up fruit.
Play game on Facebook for chance to win great prizes.
This Saturday's lotto is a massive rollover of £5.5 million.
You too could save £300 on your car insurance. You're so money, supermarket, you don't even know it.
Time? We have no time for. Hours and minutes don't matter when you live every second. Here's to here and now. And right now, mañana can wait. San Miguel Fresca, o la vida.
Cash out on this summer's biggest sporting events. Join Betfair, download the Sportsbook app and get a free bet up to £25. Cash out. Do you? Don't you?
If you can't see Barclays Premier League goals here, here or here, why not watch them here, here, here or here? You can also watch them here at a wedding, here or here. You probably shouldn't watch them here, ouch, here, here. Oh, this isn't going to end well. Here or here.
Should have married his brother.
But here and here should all be fine. Sun Plus Goals, the first place to see every Barclays Premier League goal on the go. Exclusive to our new digital entertainment bundle. Sun Plus, get involved.
Sky Bet sponsors Sky Sports coverage of the Super League.
Super League Friday from Wigan and all square here at half-time, 10-all. Now, our impression is Hulkingston Rovers may be a touch hard done by that scoreline. Phil Clark, what do the stats tell us?
Well, we look at the possession that both sides have had and where they've had it on the field. This shows us Wigan's possession. In total, they've had 64 play the balls, and you can see they've had over 26 close to the Hulkingston Rovers try line. That's an indication of just how well the Rovers have defended on their own part of the field. Turning it over, look at when the Rovers have had possession. Well, quite surprisingly when you consider the scores 10-all, the Hulkingston Rovers have had less, considerably less, you would say, at this stage in a sport like this, and far less close to Wigan's line. They've done well to come up with 2 tries in the amount of possession they've had and the field position with which they've had it. They'll have, I think, to dominate possession in the second half to give themselves a chance of winning, but they're halfway there at this stage.
Yes, 10-all. It's poised nicely, isn't it, at the start of the second half. Of course, Wigan hoping to beat Hull, the Rovers' opposition in the city, in the final, as they did in 59 and 85. If they do, it'll be a unique double as far as silverware is concerned in the borough of Wigan, because the FA Cup resides here, of course, with Wigan Athletic, and the Challenge Cup will be in the same trophy cabinet if Wigan beat Hull at Wembley later on this month. 40 minutes to go, though, for 2 Super League points that will take the Warriors back to the top of the table. Yeah, that's the aim.
Yeah, it was an amazing first 40 minutes when you think about it. Michael Dobson, the start of the show, head and shoulders above everyone else out on the paddock. He was having a bit of a nightmare, was the other half-back, Wigan's Matty Smith. Then all of a sudden he comes up with an absolute perler of a kick with only seconds remaining. It's amazing. As you mentioned before, Eddie, you've got to keep your attention alive right the way through to the final seconds.
Well, we up here were thinking that Rovers would turn around with a 6-point advantage. Maybe Rovers were as well, and they just clipped off, didn't they, at the vital moment. Half-time news, here's Graham.
Well, the Wigan coach Sean Wayne was not in the dressing room for very long at half-time, I can tell you. I think he had a few harsh words to say, delivered his message, then returned to his eyrie up in the stand. They're looking for more consistency and more intensity in the second half. Hull Kingston Rovers, they want to repeat of the first half, but they're not happy with their discipline, and that's what they want to improve. The 2 injuries, Sean O'Loughlin, he's strapped up, he's on the bench. Possibility he might come on. Jordan Cox is going to play no further part in the game.
No, that doesn't surprise me, and I don't think we will see either, although, I mean, we're not medical men up here, but Craig Sandercock's got no alternative other than not to bring Cox back in, but I'd be surprised if Sean O'Loughlin comes off the bench in the second half. But I suppose if things are going wrong, they might need a captain's knock.
Yeah, they certainly will, and the one thing that Sandercock, the coach, would have had to say about it, look, forget about that forward pass that was given when it certainly wasn't. Well, it didn't look that way. And as you mentioned, they could have gone to a 12-point lead. You just got to put that blanket out, get on with the job. And they've done well with the forwards. And they've been able to slow things down, which is one of the best ways to beat this Wigan outfit.
Nice little kick sliding through from Dobson, picked up by Ryan Hampshire. He puts the brakes on because he's being pursued by Michael Dobson. He wasn't tackled, so Lovegrove was able to drop on the youngster. Yeah, now Charnley.
The official got it absolutely spot on. He came away from it. First attempted tackle.
And the referee's just told Hull Kingston Rovers, come on, you're still on a warning, which they are. A team warning. The next penalty that goes against them could result in somebody in the sin bin. Matty Smith spreads it into the centre and finds Green. Green then gives it to Ryan Hampshire. He's good on his feet, and he gets the pass away to Gelling. That was flicked off the fingers of Craig Hall.
A try-saver. They had the overlap, and he knew it. He took a huge gamble. Look at this. He was in no man's land. It should have been a walk-in for Joe Burgess.
Well, he was in no man's land because Sean Gleeson had made the decision a couple of passes earlier to fly up. Ball didn't go out there. He got caught in no man's land. So I think Craig Hall has rescued the situation quite well on that occasion. He's had to concede a scrum on the halfway line, but certainly better than conceding 4 points.
Head and feed to Wigan at the scrum, though. 30 points to 10. Hull FC lead Widnes. Widnes lose that. That is the end, I think, of their playoff hopes. And Luaki complaining about something there and having a word with the referee.
He lifted the elbow as well. Now, there's one thing having the referee control the game. There's another letting the player try to do it.
Matty Smith, down he goes. Tackle number 3. Referee shouts held and move, which Hull KR do. They are on this warning. Luaki will take them on again. Releases the pass backwards. Here's Hampshire, fed by Blake Green. Hampshire going nowhere. Lincoln Withers gets to him.
Well, this is the incident, saying, well, that's a shoulder charge.
He's in the bin, is Lincoln Withers.
Well, they were on the warning, and this is desperate moments now, down to 12. Well, that was interesting. We just saw the replay of that with Luaki, hadn't we?
Tackle's complete. He's put his leg in a dangerous position. Okay? That's why he's going to the sin bin. It's also going on report, is that?
Well, he's seen something there as Richard Silverwood that was not terribly pleasant. Lincoln Withers is also on report as well as in the sin bin. He put the leg in a dangerous position. Let's see if this picture tells the story. And there it is.
But it's twisting the knee joint more than anything else beyond its normal range. I think that's what he's looked at.
Yeah, we can do without that in our game.
Wigan weren't impressed. Here is Gelling, meanwhile, from the resultant penalty. 10-4, the penalty count in Wigan's favour. Did you just see that? Can they turn this one into something? Blake Green pops the ball up to Luaki. And Stuart, just for clarification, Hull Kingston Rovers now off the warning.
Well, it's up to the referee how he's going to control it. I dare say that they might get another penalty before he'll put another team warning on.
OK. Blake Green is underneath the sticks, 2 or 3 metres away. Logan Tompkins, it's flicked on to Darryl Goulding. A tackle missed. Charlie! Well, this is an interesting one. This is very interesting.
I think he may have put it on the line. Dead in goal. It was a wonderful effort. He dived low, and the ball... Where does it land?
In the first half, he didn't have the length to reach the line, Steve-O. Has he on this occasion?
No. It's on the whitewash.
Stuart, do you agree?
Well, first look, it looks like he's put the ball down on the touching goal line. And looks like his finger's just on it, but it's definitely touching the touching goal line.
Definitely. There's another shadow underneath there.
Well, there's no way in the world that James Child can give this.
No, it's going down on the touching goal line. It touches the whitewash.
Again, just for clarification, the post only comes into play when the ball touches it, not the man.
That's right. Well, anyway, the ball, if someone's in possession and the ball touches the post, it doesn't count. If it's in general play, in other words, it's being kicked, it doesn't count.
So it's a no-brainer then, surely.
It's a no-try, as far as I'm concerned.
Certainly got control. It's just the question of that line Stuart referred to. No problem with the control.
He certainly got over the goal line. It's James is obviously looking at whether he's got the ball down in goal area or actually on the line. From my look there is.
So maybe they're looking at how to restart the game as much as to disallow or allow the try.
Possibly.
Certainly no try.
Well, that's what we say. Well, I'm sorry, but we've looked at that as many times as James Child, Stuart. How on earth has he given that? Because the ball touches the post.
Yep. Well, as we said before, the post doesn't matter, but, you know, for me, the look is that the ball has touched the line.
No, I thought you said the ball, if it touches the post, it does matter.
If it touches the post, it's not touching goal as it used to be a couple of years ago. But the line still counts, and for me, the ball touches the line as it's going down.
Yeah,
but it touches the post, the line, and the... Well...
Yeah, but if it touches anywhere on this line outside in the in-goal area, it cannot be given as a try, surely.
Well, it has been.
I know.
Second try for Josh Charnley, anyway.
You know, Hull Kingston Rovers were also complaining about an obstruction in the middle of the field prior to that. Michael Dobson was more unhappy with that. But I guess they wanted themselves to blame because Mike Lincoln Withers conceded a penalty. There was no argument about that. Was sent to the sin bin. They were a man short. And if any side can find an overlap, then it's the Wigan Warriors and Josh Charnley.
He looks as though he has lost £1 and found a penny. Craig Sandercock. There's a 12-point turnaround right on the stroke of half-time. And, well, there is confusion reigning about the validity of that try for Josh Charnley. Here he is to try and add the extras. It's a difficult kick, this. It couldn't be tighter to the touchline. And he's pushed it the wrong side of the posts. So damage limitation, I suppose, for Rovers.
Yeah, but
they'll be feeling very hard done by at this moment in time.
Well, we're having problems in a lot of sports, aren't we, with going to a video replay. But to me,
I don't have a problem with it as much as you guys.
Just to clarify, Eddie, I don't think touching the corner flag, just trying to interpret what Stuart said, makes any difference here. Touching the corner flag isn't important in that instance. Whether you think it then touches the sideline, the touching goal, Mike, I agree with. I'm just explaining to Eddie that confusion that we had on the corner.
Well, I'm being told that James Child says he's happy the ball was grounded before it touched the post or the line.
Well, I think it touched the outside the line simultaneously. Forget about the post.
Simultaneously, Stuart, what does that mean? It's a try?
Well, if it's simultaneously, it's no try. Because it's the dead ball line. The ball is in touching goal.
Well, we're fogging things up even more.
Well,
with this discussion.
I've waited a long time for a referee to agree with me for the change. Oh, that's sloppy, but they've got away with it. Gelling's away.
Gelling gets it wide. Here comes Burgess. Burgess has got Gelling in support. He turns them inside out. Burgess gets away from Travis Burns first time, can't get away the second time. They're slowing them down at the play the ball again. They're taking risks.
They took a huge gamble there.
Blake Green, Charnley's hunting the hat-trick out here. This is Harrison Hansen skipping away. Gets the ball back to Green. He tries to go between two men. He's pulled down on the last. They're 12 metres away. It's with Tompkins. Now it's Smith. Here's Goulding. He slides the kick in. Charnley's after this. Oh, this could be another. This could be a hat-trick for Charnley.
Dave Hodgson wasn't happy with himself. I just looked at David Hodgson's reaction and he was furious with himself. I wonder, was it because he thinks that Josh Charnley has beat him to the punch here?
You're right there, Brian. He should really have gone for this ball. He's tried to hope that it would just roll over when he had an opportunity to get the hand to it. And it's too late, and that's try time.
No, Mike.
That's a bounce, isn't it?
Not basketball.
Well, isn't that a bounce?
Oh, I don't. Listen, if the last one was given, I'd say this is a try.
The thing you need to look for, if the ball's on the ground and he puts his hand on it, then that is different.
That's a try.
To the situation that we've got here, where the ball has bounced up. He's then touched it. There is a gap between his hand and the ball.
He hasn't knocked on, as far as I'm concerned. The ball is coming up towards him, and
he's lost it there.
No, the finger is on it. The thumb and finger's on it. The ball bounces up. We could start scrapping up here.
Well, I think he's knocked on that one.
The ball, he hasn't knocked on there, and he has control with his thumb and his finger, and that's sufficient for me.
See what David Hodgson was trying to do. He's trying to protect the ball, not concede the dropout. But Josh Charnley had the presence of mind to reach over the right-hand shoulder of David Hodgson, grab his arm around, and now the conjecture is whether or not he actually grounded it or where he bounced the ball. That decision will lie in the hands of James Child, but that's the reason David Hodgson was furious.
His reaction will tell you, and if Hodgson is furious, it's maybe an indication he has conceded the try, but
well, the more you watch it, the more you slow it down. It becomes a try, doesn't it, Stuart?
Well, it's got to be a knock-on, you know. For me, there's separation in it. So, you know, if the ball's on the ground, and he puts his hand on it, that's fine. You know, the try is awarded. But when it's up in the air, he's actually got to take possession to take the ball down, and he clearly didn't do that.
So Stuart says he's got that right, and Steve O'Yu says he's got that wrong.
Well, you can see his thumb and his finger on it. The ball, he doesn't knock it back down onto the floor. The ball comes up towards him, and then he plonks his hand on it.
Well, let's see how strong, mentally resilient the Hull Kingston Rovers are. Having almost conceded back-to-back tries, they've got a penalty. They're still down to 12 men, but they are still in this game if they maintain some confidence, some composure and belief.
On StatsFact, Phil, you've mentioned it many times, their second-half performances. They've given themselves a lot to do going into the half-time break. But whatever Craig Sandercock has said and whatever they've done, second-half performance has been much improved.
Well, they'll be looking at the clock as much as anything else to see how long is left for Lincoln Withers to spend in the sin bin.
Well, they won't be doing a quick play of the balls, will they? You can see there that Reece Lovegrove has taken his time.
Well, he's injured, Steve-O. He stayed down. He's receiving treatment from the physio. Here's Twima Varvey.
I reckon he'll be running around with great gusto within the next 5 minutes, or even 5 seconds.
Squarely, wait, go, 3.
Hodgson finds Dobson.
4.
He's cut down by Hansen.
He's a key factor, and Wigan know it as well.
So is this fella, Josh Hodgson.
They're putting extra men on towards Michael Dobson. Now, if they're smart enough, Hull KR, they'll utilise him as a dummy. Use him as a foil.
Travis Burns slides the kick in. It's well picked up by young Joe. Doesn't he do well?
Yeah. Great position. For such a youngster, under a lot of pressure on his debut. That's fine play. Oh, good run.
Tremendous run by Jack Hughes, that. Crowd getting frustrated, but the referee had only just shouted held.
Done a big game, this fella, Daryl Goulding. He really has given the opportunity for his winger, Josh Charnley, on several occasions, and there he is, Charnley, taking it up. They're getting a little bit more balance now, Wigan, but you can see that the Rovers are really irritating the players.
Blake Green gives the ball then to Hampshire. They go wide, they're in trouble here. Here goes Burgess. Burgess And the foot is in touch, and Burgess is denied.
What a great tackle.
I think that's Greg Eden, wasn't it, who came to the rescue?
That is a magnificent tackle.
But that's an example, Brian, we mentioned the first half, where you do want your winger to take a chance. The gamble's on, go for it and try and score. If you lose it, well, that's fair enough. But the whole incident in the first half, on the first play on the halfway line, probably the wrong decision, and Joe Burgess's left foot just bounces over the line. Close but no cigar.
That's huge, Eddie. Greg Eden can attack, no doubt about it. I've had question marks against his defensive play sometimes. That's as good as the tackle you'll see from a fullback. That's a huge play.
Yeah, it was pretty intelligent play as well by Wigan, and he'll be pleased by that, Sean Wayne. OK, he didn't come up trumps for the 4 points, but that really was a tremendous offload and a good run from the youngster. He shows a lot of promise.
Offside against Wigan. It's getting a little heated out there.
It has been all the way through this game. It's been a ploy.
Well, Rovers are frustrated because of everything that they believe has gone against them.
Yeah, but they came out with a good ploy, and that was to slow things down. They took the risk. Remember, they got the warning. They had the man in the sin bin. They took the risk, and it looks as though they're going to get away with it.
Travis Burns and Lee Mossop having a little head-to-head.
Something's really irritating Eddie in that tackle. They got up fuming. I got to think Lee Mossop might have been involved in it, but Hull Kingston Rovers players were very unhappy with some actual play, some move in that tackle.
Well, it's been a pretty impressive performance from Hull Kingston Rovers to set this. Most teams don't make 10 breaks in a full match. Wigan have made them in just over 50 minutes. And hence the reason why on the stats you'd expect them to have a large lead. But Hull Kingston Rovers' willingness to get back and save tries, as we've just seen there from that Greg Eden title, is keeping them alive in this contest.
Yes, they are. They are in this contest. There's no doubt about that. This is good movement. And here goes Greg Eden now.
That was a great double run around by Dobson. It's very rare you see that in Super League. You might be clapping your hands to see one, to see two. Brilliant stuff.
Liam Salter takes tackle number 4. Hodgson to Dobson. Here's Travis Burns. They go wide. That's not tackled. So Gleeson's able to get up and carry on. Gets the ball away to Craig Hall. And he is over the line. Oh, no, he isn't. The ball is staying in the field of play. It is play on. Travis Burns again. Gleeson. Gleeson then infield it comes. Mickey Payer bundles one out of the way.
Well, Wigan stopped. They thought they'd got into touch.
We all did.
Look at the strength of Payer.
1, 2, 3, 4 Wigan defenders bring big Mickey Payer down. He has another smile at them as he plays it to Hodgson. Here is Dobson. Dobson tried to slide the kick through. This is play on. This is play on. And it could be 6 to go here. Oh, he's kept the hand up. Hodgson, is he impeded there? Was he instructed? They're going to get an extra set of 6 anyway. I thought that was 6 to go, Stuart.
Well, it looked like it put his foot out to play at the ball. He certainly got jammed in there and came out again. Yeah, I think he does play at the ball there.
But he didn't wipe the tackle count down. This was the last still. And then there's a little bit of an obstruction on Dobson, but it's come up with a goal line dropout anyway.
Well, I think Mark Smith was in that path anyway. I don't think he's moved, particularly out of his way to get in to block him coming through. So I think that's fair enough. That.
Good play though by David Hodgson, and good positioning by Josh Charnley. Hall, was he in a touch? No, he got rid of it just at the moment, and they just relaxed in the Wigan defence, looking to get away with it in the end. It's not a bad dropout, that though.
Payer will run it back at them from halfway. Good chase though from the goal line dropout by Wigan.
And the last try came from this same scenario. They've not had much possession in the second half. Penalties conceded certainly didn't help them, did they? But they've got the ball here and they look a dangerous side. We know they can attack. They attack now.
Lincoln Withers is bouncing on the touchline. He wants to come back out of the sin bin. Meanwhile, this is Dobson. He gets it to Eden. And work for Darryl Goulding to do. And he defends the run from Liam Salter. Greg Eden at dummy half. It's with Dobson. And a drive in now from Tyler Heppy. The ball comes down and is snaffled by Wigan.
Tried to offload in heavy traffic, and you can't afford to do that.
Hull KR back to full complement of 13.
Flash of heads there, tried to offload it. Impossible. Didn't need that.
Well, they've got the sniff of something, Hull KR, because they've conceded a try while Withers has been off the field, but it's only 14-10. And Blake Green gives it width and finds Joe Burgess. He goes down.
Pretty good take by the youngster as well. It was a shocking pass right high over his head.
Jack Hughes. He goes down on tackle number 5. So here comes the last from Wigan. 2 men have funneled back for the kick, which they anticipate coming, and there it is. And David Hodgson allows this to bounce.
Wigan are targeting the right-hand side of the Hull Kingston Rovers, or sorry, the left-hand side of Hull Kingston Rovers, and they're tying up a lot of players. What that means is when Wigan decided to shift it to their left, which you saw on that occasion, the pass not great, they've got a lot of people on that side of the field and not a lot of defenders. Hull Kingston Rovers on the right-hand side are going to have to hope that their players in the middle are a bit more honest and come over to help them.
He did all right then, Con Mika.
He did. He lost it, but he got his hand to it before it hit a Wigan player. But it constituted the knock-on. He's got it offload again.
Yes, Mika to Dobson. Here comes Eden, straight into Lee Mossop.
Just got to it in time, didn't he?
He did well. Here's Mickey Payer. Now it's with Burns. He gets it away to Josh Hodgson. Hodgson almost out of the grasp of Blake Green. That's tackle number 5. Here comes the last.
Dobson screaming for it. He's got it.
And he dinks it over the top, looking for David Hodgson. Josh Charnley, though, to the rescue for Wigan.
Good take. Under a lot of pressure as well. It's tense moments, and that you've got to come up with a very good catch.
Well, Wigan don't concede many tries from kicks, and that was a perfect example of why not. They don't rely on one man, say, hey, it's all over to you now, you catch this and try your best. There were 2 men in front certainly helping, weren't there, to protect and shield and give him every chance for Josh Charnley to get high in the air. But probably a disappointment for Rovers, having got to that part of the field, to put in an accurate attacking kick and have nobody challenge for it. Well, if they don't win this game, small things like that will make the difference.
Oh, a little half break from Blake Green. Very important tackle that was. Who played the ball? There was nobody there. Matty Smith. He's gone for a 40-20 here. Matty Smith. He's gone for 40-20. He's got one.
Well, I mentioned in the first half, he had not had a very good game indeed. He's normally the man that takes control. And remember, with seconds remaining on that first stanza, he put the kick through for Charnley to score the try. And now he's come up with an absolute belter. You can see there Michael Dobson saying we need it, and that's what it means to Matty Smith. He knows he's had a few poor passes, missed a couple of tackles, and that man Sean Wayne realises how important that kick was from that man, number 7, Matty Smith.
It's a monumental play, Steve-O, isn't it? I was just about to compliment Hull Kingston Rovers and how they had restricted Wigan as they tried to bring the ball away from their own try line. They got stuck in the defence. They hadn't conceded penalties, a fear you do have with Hull Kingston Rovers. And then Matty Smith pops up at the end of the set and puts in that huge kick for a 40-20. We saw one from Luke Dorn last night. The London Broncos didn't have the effect. It didn't inspire his team to go on and win a game. Let's see if we can... Matty Smith's effort on that occasion can do the opposite for Wigan here tonight.
Well, they've loaded the left-hand side. They've come up with a knock-on in the very first play.
That was good defence.
It was aggressive defence, Mike, wasn't it? Yep. You can attack when you don't have the ball in this game, and that's what Sean Gleeson did here. Put Wigan under pressure. I've said in recent games, several teams are now taking this risk. Get up as quickly as you can on the cherry and whites, close them down. With a bit of luck, you might come up with a ball. And backslapping all round for Rovers for that defence, and Gleeson a terrific tackle on young Ryan Hampshire. It's still in the balance, this match. 14-10 Wigan. Now head and feet of the scrum to Hull, and Matty Smith's wonderful 40-20 goes to waste.
Yeah, golden opportunity, just frittered away. He's making the point that, remember, it was the Rovers that kept Wigan down on the last 3 sets of 6. They were struggling to get anywhere near the halfway line.
The fact that they've come up with the error, Wigan and Hull Kingston Rovers have forced the error, though. You can see what it's meant to Rovers, because they really are bouncing here.
Yeah, well, there's a few things just gone against them. OK, they also had the rub of the green when that try was disallowed, which could have been the hat-trick for Charnley. But they've got to be careful. They've got to make sure that, look, they've got plenty of time. We're just heading towards the final quarter. Do not panic. Do not try to offload if there's a lot of heavy traffic.
Well, there's plenty of heavy traffic in Cherry and White. Now then, the kick has to be good here. but they are running it, and Travis Burns with a little kick through. That's a knock-on by Hampshire.
You said the kick had to be good. The kick is brilliant. It is a brilliant kick. Such a difficult position for the fullback to deal with it. He's got to be very brave and get down, which he was, but they've laid it just in front of him, giving their chasers a great chance. Pressure on Ryan Hampshire, and he coughed up the ball. That's a brilliant kick.
And there's a flailing boot there as well, which obviously must have distracted Hampshire. Craig Hall.
Yeah, it's a pressure that can bring it about. As you say, Craig Hall was getting the boot well and truly towards him. He didn't pull out, he went for it. Sadly, he couldn't keep hold of it.
An hour gone, 20 minutes remaining. The match is still to be won. Good hit by Darryl Goulding on Liam Salter.
Square, Darryl. Go, one.
Lincoln Withers, Con Mika will take it forward now for Rovers.
The Rovers realise, and their coach Craig Sandicott is fully aware of the fact, if they get anywhere close, maybe 5-10 metres away from the line, that's gone, and that's backwards, is it? No, it's a penalty.
Stolen ball steal.
2 points is no good to him. Kick it into the corner. Oh, they've gone for the quick tap. I'm just making the point, Eddie. This is a position where Dobson, he produced it in the first half. Through the dome, he went on his own. Will he do it again?
Well, there is Dobson. And Wigan were alert to the danger then. Harrison Hansen, first man to him. Salter and Withers. And here comes Heppy. Big collision there, and he spun away from it. Did 19-year-old Heppy. Tyler Heppy's lost the ball.
Knock on from Wigan, though. He's saved here.
Is he?
This is a great situation. Scrum 10 metres out, attacking your opponent's line. You've got a player like Greg Eden and Craig Hall in your back line. This is an ideal scenario here now for Hull KR.
Yeah, they were very, very fortunate, though, and I'm sure that Sandicott, the coach, will get the message out to them, and you can see there, but he was trying, wasn't he, to offload?
It was Scott Taylor with the knock-on. And Sandicott is animated as well. They thought that they'd lost possession.
Yeah, so did everyone else.
Then they got the lifeline. Here is Eden. Withers is waiting. Withers going on his own, Withers. And Wigan having to muscle up in defence. 4 of them hold him up. There's Greg Eden. Eden gives it then to the big fella. Payer will have another run. He's over the line. Can he get the ball down? Wigan, big in defence.
Held up.
Tackle 3.
Now then, this is the option. Does Michael Dobson take control, or do they utilise him as a dummy runner, try to use him as the foil and bring Greg Eden into the play?
That's Travis Burns to Dobson. Dobson then finds Eden. They go wide to Hodgson. Hodgson is in for Rovers. Or is he? There's another question mark about this one.
Well, I'm going to put my hand on the line and I'm going to say he gets it down.
Well, the touch judge held his line. I think that's the question mark. Is it sure that whether or not his foot had gone into touch?
It's the touch, the check-in, yes. I don't think there's any problem with the grounding. It's just where his foot is. And that's why.
Just slings away into that thing.
You say you're going to put your neck on the line?
Yeah, looks like it's gone.
No, get some paramedics up here.
Get some paramedics for Craig Sandicott. David Hodgson denied. Just in the blink of an eye. Look.
Yeah, I knew he'd got it down okay. It's just that white boot that denies him the try.
Great work by Charnley in defence, to be fair.
Yep. He went for the flaying leg.
Well, he's the number 4 on the try-scoring Super League charts of all time, David Hodgson. But because of that boot on the line, he's only scored once since April. Oh, Hull FC have cut loose against Widnes. So they, at the moment, are breathing down Rovers' necks. They started 3 points adrift.
Change for Rovers as well, Eddie. Mickey Payer, who's played very well, is coming off gingerly with the physio. Evan Tumavave is going to come on. It will be a loss if they can't use him for the rest of the games. Because he has been good. It's been difficult to stop. He's got some great yards for Hull Kingston Rovers after the initial contact.
Now, vigorous defence again required by Rovers, but how long can they keep this up for? Scott Taylor is halted. Wigan Huddersfield next Friday. Is it the shootout for the League Leaders Shield? 7:30 Sky Sports 3. Sunday afternoon, 2 o'clock, the big city derby. Rovers against Hull FC. Here goes Michael McIlorum is on his top, and he's cut down by Greg Eden.
It had to be as well. The youngster was screaming for it. Joe Burgess out there on that left-hand side.
Here's Big Epelhami Luwaki. He goes down on tackle number 4. Smith, the dummy half, gives it then to Harrison Hansen. Back it comes. And here comes the last tackle now for the Wigan Warriors. As Blake Green gets to his feet. Oh, what a pickup by Greg Eden.
Well, that absolutely stunned Matty Smith. He put plenty of weight on that.
I got a feeling Lee Mossop was offside there as well when Greg Eden collected that kick. Lee Mossop was first to tackle him and was in an offside position when the kick was put in. I would give that a penalty to Hull Kingston Rovers, but play on. They got to try and drive the ball out of their 20 now.
Well, Greg Eden, get yourself down to Old Trafford tomorrow. You could get a place in the slips for England.
Boy, that was a magnificent take. Now then, just solid hard work.
Oh, he's lost it, hasn't he? No, he hasn't. I thought the ball came out then. And he's looking for the penalty. Craig Hall, it didn't come. Travis Burns with a big, deep kick downfield, collected by young Hampshire. It's quick as Hampshire, but so too Lincoln Withers. Matty Smith scampering into dummy half. Here goes Charnley.
Eden's dropped deep. Will they kick early, or will they just run it out? Try to get the big forwards. It's been a problem by Wigan getting over the advantage line. Normally the forwards give them plenty of opportunity. That's a good run by the winger though, Charnley.
Yes, it is. Hodgson was all over him. Here's Matty Smith. Blake Green. That's a speculator, and it's come up for Burgess. Oh, he backed himself, and well, Craig Hall is tall.
Boy, what another great take by the winger Hall.
Well, that's Eden and Hall who could get a place for England at Old Trafford now.
Well, fair play to the youngster. Wanted a little chip over the top, and he just juggled it. If it had taken it on the first attempt, he could have got many metres forward.
I think the man playing the ball, is it Tyler Heppy again?
Yes.
Him and Richard Beaumont, really impressive for me as two young players, and swing it wide here. Can they find the space?
Hodgson, can he get away? Good tackle, Matty Smith. Plays the ball to Liam Salter. Salter short ball to Eden. Got through the first two. Hansen was there. Knock on. Oh.
The short ball, he was coming to it. Nerves are plenty by Craig Sandercock.
He's doing everything he can, though, to win this game for Rovers, isn't he? Taking the ball through his own line, attacking here, punching into holes. OK, he's come up with an error. But if Rovers have a game winner out there, I would say it's most likely going to be Greg Eden, because he seems tonight to have a desire to get his hands on the ball. It's easy in the closing minutes of a match to stay out of trouble, hold your position, stay out wide, and just do whatever comes your way. It takes a brave player to put himself into the picture to win the game, because there's a chance to come up with a mistake. Greg Eden seems to have that bravery tonight.
Just less than 13 minutes remaining, and only 4 points the difference. You would imagine that next try will win it, and Hull have hit 60 against Widnes. That's only the latest score as well. Still a bit of time to go in that. Hull celebrating the fact they'll play Wigan at Wembley. They've got Rod Studd there. There's a knock-on. A knock-on by Blake Green. Well, Rod Studd will report from Hull FC and Widnes in extra time at 10 on those red buttons.
I cannot believe that Wigan, they're leading by 4 points and they're playing catch-up rugby league football. They don't need to be able to do this. All they needed to do was get into a good position. They've got the kicking game with this fella, Blake Green, and Matty Smith.
But they score a lot of tries doing exactly that from long range, 40, 50 metres, and they would reckon that's how they could win the game.
Phil, that's in the past. We're talking about now. This is on this field of play.
Let's go over here, boys.
So the clock is ticking, but at the moment it's stopped. The referee has held up the clock while the players, and you can understand they're very slow to get to the scrum because it's another warm night. Now then, is this the moment for Hull KR?
You're right, Eddie, about the conditions, because you know, for the
that's a penalty, surely.
It should have been.
It is.
Yeah. Now, they took a quick tap at kicking to the corner. I think they made the mistake of taking, and they've done it again. Well, Michael Dobson, the captain, was pointing into the corner. They completely ignored it.
Well, here they come with Withers and now Dobson. And he finds Travis Burns, and here's Josh Hodgson. And they are 3 meters or so away from the line. Eden's there again. This is Dobson. Dobson then to Lincoln Withers, puts the brakes on. Didn't fool anybody, particularly not Michael McIlorum. Dobson again, slips the pass forward.
He just held on to it a fraction too late. You could see them set up. He said to the full-back, you come up back on the inside. I'm not so sure that was. No, I don't. I'm with you, Phil, on that one.
Well, again, the call has come from the sideline with someone who's level with play, so you'd like to think that that's right. We're not quite on a good angle on that one.
There he is, the culprit.
It's Joe Cobb who's given the decision.
They're confident, though, Hull Kingston Rovers, aren't they? They've turned down the chance to kick 2 penalties. Then you would think a kicker, Michael Dobson's ability, would slot over. They're hunting a try, and going into the last 10 minutes, I tell you what, we couldn't have asked for much more in this game.
No, you couldn't, and they're having to do it without Mickey Payer. What's his news, Graham?
The news is that Mickey Payer wanted to go straight back onto the pitch, but they stopped him from doing so. His left knee is heavily iced. I don't think he's going to play any further part of the game, and with Jordan Cox also off, it means they're well short in the forwards.
Yes, they are. Let's not forget that Sean O'Loughlin hasn't been out there for a long time for Wigan either, but this game has taken its toll on both sides. And there's a kick by Blake Green over the top. Is it another 40-20? Eden's just lolloping after this. He's lucky that didn't take a spin to the left. It's a good chase. It's a great chase led by Gelling.
Yeah, it was a good kick, and I'm with you, Ed. Greg Eden looked a bit lackadaisical there, but it got to a point where I think he knew it was going to get the backspin onto it.
Oh, Luaki, what a good tackle that was.
Was it ever?
This is Hall.
This is where Wigan have to dig deep now. They've got to try to restrict them, the opposition, to make sure that they'll be kicking well and truly in their own half.
Oh, Twimavavi. Wigan have got the ball back. And Travis Burns said he lost the ball as he collected that. Blake Green. Referee's having none of it. Here comes Scott Taylor. Incredible, only 2 starts this year for Wigan for Scott Taylor, both of them against his former club.
And again, trying to offload in an impossible situation. It's been a huge problem, not just in this game, but it's throughout the season for the Rovers. There's one thing being adventurous, but sometimes they do it in impossible situations. Great tackle there by Burns.
He was Burns. Good low tackle. McIlorum, though, to Blake Green. Here goes Gelling. Gelling will probably win it for Wigan. In the end, Hull Kingston Rovers run out of puff, run out of energy, run out of manpower. And Anthony Gelling gets over on his 10th appearance of the year, left out of the semi-final last week, and gets his 7th try in Super League of 2013. And what a vital one this is.
Certainly was. On the very few occasions he threw the dummy, they accepted it. And Gelling, one-handed dummy. Very rare you see this. And he knows that could be it. It's been a stop-start affair as far as the Wigan outfit has been concerned. They've been pummeled, especially up front with the Rovers forwards. They've been knocked off their, shall we say, their balance throughout this game. They've slowed things down. And Craig Sandercock perhaps will be thinking what might have been 2 decisions, 2 forward passes that really could have set this game alight. Went against them. Both of those picked up by the touch judge. Very rare in our game.
So Josh Charnley, he's taken the kicking responsibility tonight in the absence of Pat Richards, and he's only kicked 1 from 3 thus far. It's an 8-point ball game. No matter what happens with this kick, Rovers have to score twice in the last 6 or 7 minutes. He's concentrating. He's kicked it this time. 10-point the advantage. As I say, it changes nothing. Rovers still have to score twice.
I'll tell you what is good here, Eddie. We're watching Michael Dobson. He wants to get back to the halfway line to kick this ball off here quickly. Their only chance is to get the possession back here from this restart. I suspect it's going to be a short one to give his team a chance to contest the ball. And when they have contested the ball, sometimes they've come up with it tonight. This is one where they need it right now to that far side of the field.
Yes, it's a short kick-off, but it's too long. It is too long.
Well, they had to take the chance, and Dobson certainly went for it, just a little bit too strong. Wigan won't be rushing this. Right out on the full, not even close. Shakes his head in disbelief. It's been a pretty tough game for them.
By the way, Josh Charnley, who was once upon a time out on loan at Hull Kingston Rovers and scored 5 tries in 5 appearances, has gone through the 500-point barrier at Super League level tonight with his tries and his goals. So it's been a milestone night for Josh. Meanwhile, Wigan looking to put this game well and truly to bed. With 6 minutes remaining, they lead by 10 points. McIlorum. And that's Blake Green.
Just go through the motions, make sure they get through the set of 6.
Harrison Hansen.
Utilise the likes of Green and Smith in that kicking department. Just try to snuff out any opportunity that the Rovers not even getting possession.
Scott Taylor drives it in again. Here comes the last for Wigan. Camped underneath the post. Back it comes to Matty Smith. High, a drop goal.
No surprise.
Well, no reward. The difference goes to 11, but the fact is Hull KR still have to score twice.
It's good practice, though, if ever they need this situation as they get to the final games and possibly the playoffs in Super League. If they know they get a penalty on the halfway line, that's almost a rehearsal, isn't it, for where they'll work to on the field, which player needs to be in which position. And then it gives him the match practice of putting over that 1 point.
And they've closed this game out brilliantly, haven't they? 14 points to 10 going into the last 10 minutes. Hull Kingston Rovers attacking the line, turned down 2 kickable penalties, backed themselves to score a try. Wigan withstood that pressure, now have gone on and lead this game by 11 points. There's a lesson in that for other teams. Hull Kingston Rovers especially, because they aspire to be where Wigan are now.
Well, they got the possession eventually from the short kick-off, and then
well,
Joe Burgess was on his knees and thought, well, that ball's come loose at the play of the ball. I'm on my knees, but I'm kneeling square.
No, they played the ball, I see.
Yeah, no.
Rovers got the ball, he played it, and he just said, well, nobody's there, so I'll pick it up.
That's what I say. He was on his knees. Kneeling square rather than standing square, he'd say was. Liam Salter.
Well, they need to score on this set of 6.
Well, they do, and if they do, look out. And they might here. It's a great effort from Twimavave.
He's got it down.
He has. This isn't going upstairs. It's not over yet. It's not over yet. The kick is relatively easy. Dobson will take it quickly, I'm sure. And Hull Kingston Rovers, it might be an 11-point lead. It's now down to 7. This will take it to 5. And it's there again.
And nerves are plenty, not only for the Wigan players, Wigan coach, and all the staff, but the fans here, the Wigan fans, they're stunned. They thought it was all over. And not even a fat lady around to sing.
Dobson, he's kicked it. We're down to a 5-point ball game, 21-16.
Strap yourself in. You could get something. Amanda Phil Clark identified Greg Egan could be involved.
Backwards, backwards, backwards. Knock on. No. Hems free.
Good work, wasn't it? Good work by Burns. And great effort. Look at that. Spinning around. Twimavave has put them in with a wonderful opportunity. Got it down eventually.
They do need possession near to Wigan's half. I don't see the Rovers with the ability to score a 70 or 80 metre try, as Wigan clearly have some faster players to do that.
Twimavavi, who's given them hope, carries them over halfway. Lincoln Withers. Dobson short ball to Mika.
Good tackle there by Goulding. Made sure that there was no opportunity to offload that. Boys had a strong game as the centre, Daryl Goulding, both in attack and defence.
Beaumont goes down. Tackle number 4, Hull have won, and can Hull KR win here with Dobson? Lincoln Withers. Sandercock must be biting his nails. How did he hang on to that, Craig Eaton? But he did. And does he go down a blind alley? He gets the ball away to Dobson. It's the last throw of the dice. It's a great kick. It's a great kick to Hodgson. Great stuff from the Wigan defence.
Wonderful stuff. Desperation on the face of Craig Sandercock. It was a good option. He just thought for a second here. Dobson's kick was superb. He just thought for a second, should I go for the line? He thought and he went for the step. They had the cover defence.
He thought too much, Steve-O.
Yeah.
He thought too much. David Hodgson can finish from there. The kick was brilliant. There's a try just left on the field. Oh, he would be furious. That's the ability to give Michael Dobson a kick to win the game.
So near, yet so far.
Yeah, it's amazing. Being a winger, you've got to make that decision. Do I step and try to go inside of the cover defence? He took that option, did not work. But boy, what a finish to this game.
Inside the last minute. Mossop carries it forward.
Looked a bit high there from Walker. This will be up the jumper time now.
Taylor. It looks like it's 3 defeats in the season for Hull Kingston Rovers against Wigan, and they are on their way back to the top of the table. Huddersfield will play over the weekend. If they win, Huddersfield will leapfrog them, and this time next week we'll be winding down the clock on the Wigan-Huddersfield, which could be a classic.
Now that surprised me that Matty Smith has not gone for the touchline. They've got an opportunity here. Oh, he's got to it. Well done there. Scott Taylor has saved the day.
Wigan have won it. Wigan are back on top of the Super League table, but take nothing away from a brave performance from Hull Kingston Rovers. So near, yet so far. 10-all at half-time, and only 5 points in it at the end. There are some Hull KR players who are on their haunches, who are exhausted, who cannot believe that they've lost this match, but lose it they have by 21 points to 16. Tremendous game, and Hull KR played their full part in it, as did Matty Smith. Outstanding. Wigan might just feel they got out of jail, perhaps, I don't know. Daryl Goulding played an important part of it. I think that Steve-O has made him the man of the match, and we will hear from the man of the match, Daryl Goulding, in extra time. But that was great entertainment, fellas, wasn't it? Really good.
Well, you couldn't want much more than that. A fantastic game of rugby league. Wigan challenged all the way, and in the end, superb performance. But I guess that's why they have been champions previously, and why they want to be champions again this year, to fight out the tough games and win when the pressure's really on.
There's the confirmation of the final score. Only 5 points in it. It was so near, as I said so many times, Steve-O, at the end. So near yet so far for Rovers.
Yeah, you've got to give a lot of credit to the visitors, but you've also got to understand that Wigan, they didn't play at their best, but they come up with the 2 points, and that is a sign of a very strong team. We know that, but we knew it was going to be a tough one, and they could have lost it in the final minutes. I must say that Rovers, to me, didn't get the rub of the green as much as, say, Wigan did, but that's life in rugby league. That's what it's all about in Super League. It finished up superbly.
Yes, it's all come right in the end for Wigan. It'll be interesting to hear what Craig Sandercock and Sean Wayne have to say about all this, and we'll be talking to them as well during Super League Extra Time, which follows on the red buttons, when we'll also hear from Daryl Goulding, who is the man of the match. Okay, if you fancy seeing day 2 of the Bridgestone Invitational Golf, just press Sky Sports 4 now. That's available. Press the red buttons, of course, to stick with us here on Sky Sports 3 for Extra Time, with the interviews and the analysis of what's been a thrilling night at the DW Stadium. Loads to talk about in that. And I'm sure that the inquest will continue on and on. Wigan Huddersfield next week looks mouth-watering. You'll be able to watch that with us live. And of course we have the whole derby as well on Sunday. So big weekend coming up next weekend. Press those red buttons though now and join us for the Extra Time. Good hands, Charles.
Watch all 6 Sky Sports channels on your mobile and online.
Sky Bet sponsors Sky Sports coverage of the Super League. What if the try line beckons? What if the packs collide? Whichever way you call it.
Live football. Tomorrow, Burnley take on Bolton in the Championship on Sky Sports 1 at midday. And Celtic face Ross County in the Scottish Premier League on Sky Sports 1 at 5. And on Sunday, it's Derby v Blackburn in the Championship on Sky Sports 1 at 3:30.
This is Sky Sports, your home of sport.
The Pikmin are back, exclusively on Wii U. Their mission is to help you explore the Pikmin homeland for fruit to take back to your home planet, Kopai. Reunite with all your favorite Pikmin of old and 2 new Pikmin types on hand to obey your every command. Work together or go head-to-head in multiplayer. The mission is yours in Pikmin 3, only on Wii U.
I am a Royal Marines officer. These are my men. They are ready for anything. They are focused. They push themselves to the limit. But I don't just lead them. I fight by their side. If you think you have the leadership skills and state of mind it takes to be a Royal Marines officer, we can train you. Search Royal Marines officer online or find us on Facebook.
Gentlemen, there's a game on. The odds father has much to do. Sorry. Yeah, that's why we're...
What can you do for us?
Bet £10 to get £30 in free bets. Sign up online or download the app.
That's brilliant.
That's excitement you can't refuse. Ladbrokes, game on.
Great day's racing ahead, James.
Already got my pick, Stan.
What, already?
Been studying all morning.
Steady on, Rain Man! You want to let the horse hit the ice first? Get a feel for the beast!
Go easy, horse whisperer. It's all about getting a feel for their form.
Well, my money, as you're asking, is on Homeboy in the 235!
Me too! Presumably because it's dropping back to a mile.
Yes! And the jockey's wearing green.
Stan? James? Who are you with?
Rock Adidas and Adidas, the sneaker leaders for years. You can say what you wanna, but my Adidas is here. The tire flyer no higher, like 40 bins in a Jag. X&A rapper alive, the rev invented the swag.
I'm in my pro models that I model like the pros. I go full throttle, I'm a lot like Terragone. White superstars with the 3 black stripes. I'm like a god when I'm rocking this mic. We rule hip-hop and all of the sports. The man on the beat is A-Track, of course.
The following program is a post-Watershed production. It will contain scenes and storylines not suitable for children, and some of the content may also be unacceptable to other viewers. This program also contains strobe lighting effects.